Okay, I'm live. I'm trying to pull up my chat, but my thing's being stupid. I'm trying to pull up chat right now. Okay. Hello? Oh my god, it's laggy. Okay. Well, I'm going to pull up chat. I'm gonna mute that. So I have chat right here. Anyways, other than that, last time we did a lot of the stuff, but my microphone was muted like the entire time. So nobody got to hear my voice until like the last 30 minutes. And then my mom walked in on me because my cat ran off. So yeah, that's what that was. That's why I had to stop the stream. But it's 12:36 my time. So confirm. What? Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. I mean, but you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. Who even is this? That's how I know that you care about this experiment. You're paying attention. I am. I definitely am. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. What? Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. 11:11. That's my favorite time. No, 7:11. That's my favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay. Oh, good. It leaves off where we were. Okay. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named...
Alright, we've already seen this. What is this? What is this trophy? Quit the game and then start it again. It's crazy. Okay. I'm just gonna how do I pull up chat? Just chat, because this is gonna distract me. There we go. Okay. So, nothing there. Nothing there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Do we still
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Okay, I think this is the same as...
I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to...
Yeah, it's the same as before. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so first... So we're gonna pick up the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
I still want to get into that room. The reason I kept going over here and looking in this window is because I want to go into this room. I want to see where that hallway leads. Also, I kept looking over here, like in this space, because I saw a YouTuber go through this and there was a person there. I don't know exactly how he got it to do that, but I know he wasn't in the Stanley Parable 2. He wasn't. I think he was in new content.
Tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so if we go, let's go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but
Yeah.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Now we're gonna
Stanley
go
took the door on his
straight.
left to
Wait.
go back to the meeting room.
I don't really like that ending, so I'm gonna go over here.
And
I
so
want to
the
go
two
down
of them
here.
detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
See if this is any different.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I
don't
knew you'd find this place eventually.
This is different.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this
Yeah.
bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet.
I know,
Because
but I want
that's
new
what
content.
fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
No, I like the
Yes, I
bucket.
know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
No, I'm not.
Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
Oh, God,
we could make
no.
the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
What's through here? Yeah, whatever. Okay, let's go.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh my god, this thing again.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No! I'm not giving the bucket up. I don't want to give the bucket up. Do I have
Don't you get
to?
it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why
No.
I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Nope.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
What the...
The bucket destroyer. My prized creation.
Oh, shut
up! It had so
up!
much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now.
No.
Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
No, I don't want the bucket destroyer. It's the worst character. I want the bucket. The bucket is mine. Should I see what happens if we do give it a bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Nah.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes.
Hold on.
Stanley thought.
I will be right back. I need to go eat. Bro. Reese, what are you doing? Come on. My cat's in here. Come on, get out. Ah, okay. Okay.
To himself, yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left and headed back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay.
Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was
don't
firmly
like that
convinced
ending.
that the bucket had spoken
This is
to
the
him,
ending I was talking
and
about. I
he
don't like.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley, once again, obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Where is the bucket? Oh, there it is.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
What is it? Where's the bucket? Oh, there it is.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I believe that. I just like the bucket because of the animation, to be honest. Honestly, I like the animation. That's the only reason why I've been picking up the bucket. Alright, well then I'm not gonna pick up the wait, hold on. Oh, they disabled it. So I've noticed how this is the chair you get up to go out the window, but they disabled the chair, like you can just walk through it, which is a little interesting. Do we have to? I don't want to, but no, I'm not going to. I don't even know if it'll do anything, to be honest. I don't think it does.
You see, he's not listening. is still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, his stupid hypothetical.
I can't turn on the TV. That's sad. No, why would I do that? Why would I ever do that? Ever. I think I have to, though.
Sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
What is happening? That was the craziest ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed... Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
We're gonna go left.
And entered the door on his left.
How many do I have? Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Somewhere red and... Ah, the red and blue. Okay, something to do with stairs. Something... yeah,
Coming
stairs.
to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I see it.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
No, I don't want to go that way. I don't like that ending. That one's just weird. It's confusing. Literally, I have no idea what this place is for. I literally have no idea what this place is for. Yeah, it says Stanley. It's the narrator singing to it. Oh yeah. By the way, my controller is literally vibrating like crazy. How long is this elevator ride? Does this literally do nothing? It doesn't even have a floor count. I'm confused. Dude, I don't think this ever stops. This is different though. I don't think this does anything. That literally did nothing. Are you free?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We're going down. I haven't actually escaped the facility with the bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay,
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I haven't actually gone through here before. Should I?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
What? Why?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
But I want to escape.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
How am I gonna die? I don't know if I trust that. Okay, well. Oh yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. How did I... What is going on? Oh,
as the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself.
And he's trying to say bye.
Bye. Where are you going?
Dad's house.
Sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh my God.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
What just happened?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Sorry, I was checking something if my mic goes mute whenever I do that. Okay. Wait, where did my bucket go? Wait, where did my bucket go? Did I not just have the bucket? Wait, did I not? Hold on, I'm looking back at the footage. I think right as I went through the door, because it was so dark that I didn't even realize that the bucket was gone. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's wrong way. Welcome you to the grand exhibit. You are standing... Yeah, I'm not reading all that.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
What is happening? A bucket with two handles? That is not 25 buckets. I'm sorry. That is way more than 25 buckets. I am so sorry. Let me just count really quickly. One. Yeah, there's no way. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerful, alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of all of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Cave drawing. Oh my god, bro. Distress bucket and analogy. Okay. Whatever.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Yeah, sure, why not? Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
I swear to God, if that's the end. Oh my...
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
Oh.
It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
What do you mean, just a matter of time? Something feels different.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket. Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
That's not what I was doing, but okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, we're gonna see what happens if we escape together. Oh, I forgot. Hold on.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were.
What if
Just
I don't...
a matter of time.
What if I don't bring a bucket? I'm going to.
The embrace of an old friend.
So...
A weathered companionship
yeah.
that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm pretty sure you go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I believe you go right,
turned out to be correct,
and then you go through here, and then you jump off onto the platform below the lift.
To go back to the meeting room.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go... Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay, I want to know how to get a car, like... So, there's the place with the Stanley figurine. Can you even get down there? I wonder if you can get down there. I need a key card. How do I get a key card? I wonder if there's like an actual way to get a key card. That would be really cool if you could.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Okay.
Let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
The way it tilted makes me want to think yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No!
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
No.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
No, you're not a
I'm
bucket.
losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go.
We lost the bucket,
What
guys.
happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay, so to get that red and blue...
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting?
We're gonna go without the bucket.
He could no longer recall.
So... yeah, we're gonna go without the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by you.
What? Really?
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
no.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. I'm not saying that you aren't on my side.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
No trophy? Okay.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time?
Okay, well, we got the figurine.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh
I would
my.
love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Still nothing here for us. That's new.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley. And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Warehouse. No. Yeah, warehouse.
No. The warehouse was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the warehouse feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
What just... Why can I, What's going on?
Let's see. What came next? Oh, yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well,
What?
I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't remember this room. I do not remember this room.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh my goodness. What? Is it gonna provide actual gameplay?
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
I just want to see something. Okay, never mind. I thought it would have changed.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the
Okay.
loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
I swear there's gonna be a trophy for all of this. Collecting all of them. Like all of them.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
I don't like it. It doesn't look that great. I just don't like it. It doesn't... It looks off. That's all I'm trying to say.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
I don't want to go to the boss's office. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. There was one in the boss's office?
Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh. No, this isn't right.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more memories.
Okay.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Okay.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Wow, that just shows how old this game is and how much they care.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
I want to see what these computers do.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking for the computer. The input received. What does that mean? Am I supposed to click on it some more? Like, how do I... Oh, I can't turn it back on. I'm confused.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What? Swear I heard something. So where did we go to get that ending? We went to the red and blue doors, right? No, we collected all the Stanley figurines. You know what? Probably all of the...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Where's the projector? Oh, there it is. Nothing in the closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No more Stanley figurines. I feel like there's a way you have... Like, there's a certain order you have to
Stepping into his manager's
do
office,
the computer
Stanley was
thing.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
What? What is happening? Can you just open the door?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay, let's go down. We're gonna do what the guy tells us, because he wants to tell the story once more. I'm gonna see what happens
Stanley
if we
walked straight
actually
ahead
do
through
it.
the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
We're just trying to see if we could see the boss's office. Where is the boss's office? What does that say up there? Oh, it's definitely not the boss's office. Fired. Employee 528. Ooh, what are those ones down there?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
By the way, what employee
But here
number
was the
are we
proof,
again?
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How do I get up there? Like, I want to know how to get up there. What does that even do? Pink door. pink. All it is pink. Do I have to like turn it on? Do I have to turn the place on to be able to do this? 1, 2, 2. What is this supposed to... I don't even know what I'm doing, bro. How do I turn this on? Well, I know you have to go through there, but... How do I... Like, usually, you're not allowed to go... Like, out. Yeah, I can't click any of the buttons. Maybe I do have to turn it on. I don't know, but I feel like if I go through there, then it's gonna close the doors behind me. I know it will. Wait. Wait, what employee number are we again? We are 234? Wait. So there's 2 over there. Is there 3 over here? Because there's 5. I think we're 234. So, 2. Where's the 3? Three, and then 4. I swear if it's down here. No, it's not. Is that 4? Oops. Okay, what's one we can put in? 5, 2, 1. We can put in 5. Let's do, where do we start? Let's do 1, 4, well, we can't do 1, 4, 2. So 5, 2, 1. That'll probably open this one. So... 5. Two, 1. Is there a 0? I wonder if there's a 0. Because there's a 3. I don't even know if this is like actually something you can do. Because there's 5, 3. Oh, wait. They all have the thing connected to them. Like they have a little box for some reason. So... What if I do turn it on, though? Yeah, I don't know if there's a 0. I don't think there's a 0. And if we don't have a 0, then we can't do any of them. Like, any of them. I'm confused. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be doing this. Let's see. Maybe that's the reset. Wait. 5. Two. 1. I don't know, bro. What's 5, 2, 1? Oh my god, I might be a genius. I don't know, let's see though. So there's 0. I don't know if I can enter anything here. 2. Which is over here. Hold on, I gotta put the... that's broken. Two and then 1. Where's the 1? Oh, I don't see 1. Yeah, I don't think there's... I don't know. I'm just gonna move on, bro.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
This is not what happened in the first one.
Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to...
Hold on, I gotta search up what number is Stanley. What number is Stanley in the Stanley Ultra Deluxe? Four, 2, 7.
To talk about you, about me, where we're going,
2.
what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version
Where's
of events
7?
has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
I don't have a 7.
Solved? Do you
There's
have
no
any
7.
idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler
Where's
for you.
3?
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only
Where's
still playing
3?
instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
What?
Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All about
I don't know what it means.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know what it meant. I didn't know.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I'm so confused. How do
When
you
Stanley
do that
came
part?
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How? How do you... I don't know.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Thank you. I actually appreciate that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What does it mean by 3 press down? What does it mean by that? I don't know what it meant.
To life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number
I
of
didn't
an employee
know
in
what
the
it
building.
meant.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
"427. I don't know. What does it mean by 3
This
press
mind
down?
control facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
I didn't...
Was this the only reason he was
didn't
happy with his boring
understand.
job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again
Okay, we're
exert
gonna
its
try this
terrible
again.
power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You
wanna
were
see what's
supposed
through
to
here.
let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is
4.
much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah, I don't.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
I don't
Do you really
understand.
believe there's an answer? How many times
Where
will you
is
replay this
2?
bit, looking desperately for a solution?
I don't know what
10,
that
100,
is.
1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of
Purple!
fire and
What
metal
is purple?
Over and over for all of eternity. And
Purple?
Stanley died again.
Purple 2.
And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again.
I don't understand how to do that. I'm actually going to look up a tutorial.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into it, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, I'm going to search up a tutorial on how to do that, because it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how to do this.
I will be exploring Mr. Rift, and I know precisely what each button does. For instance, the number of buttons. The ones that are so nicely numbered from 1 to 5, they do nothing. They are of absolutely no consequence whatsoever. They just make a nice little sound, but aside from that, pressing those buttons achieves nothing at all. Now, what about the other buttons, such as these 4 right next to the entrance door? Well, this is interesting. These 4 buttons here, called cat butts, they do nothing at all. Goodness, an instant, moving ahead. These 2 buttons, both called programmers at one end, they don't do anything either. Put some extra time on the clock, why not? That console there, surely it must do something. What's the matter, Stanley? Well, yeah, it makes sparks. Then it is disabled for 2 seconds, after which you can make more sparks. That's all that button is broken because of an error in the map design. I can fix it though. There's what the failsafe is supposed to do. Yep, it's destined to fail. Next, the code buttons. They are placed in a sequence of 4 sets of 4 buttons. Each set of 4 buttons activates the next set of 4 buttons. After a selection is made in each of the 4 consoles, the screens will show that the combination was...
Oh, okay. I know what it is.
Nation.
Last time those buttons didn't do anything. They were the ones that were by, what's it called? It was basically, there's the door and then...
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the
I'll
large
just do
door
it.
that read, Mind Control Facility.
Do we have to do... I really wish we had like a save point or something, because I don't want to go through
Lights
this
rose on an
every
enormous
time.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions were furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I don't know if it's
But here
different
was
with the
proof.
bucket.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn...
Oh yeah, okay, so let's not bring the bucket. Also, why has this changed?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, I'm
Now
being
the
super
monitors
quiet,
jumped to
sorry.
life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine.
3.
You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this...
Hold on. How do I do that again? Oh my goodness, ads.
Incorrect. There are 256 possible combinations that you might try to enter, but none of them are correct. No combination is ever accepted. Additionally, when the first button is pressed, the 24-second timer is started. When the timer expires, the code button monitors will sparkle, and the code buttons will no longer be usable. Here the exit there is a very peculiar set of 4 buttons. As it stands, these 4 green buttons do not do anything at all. I think they should fill up that record. But there is a typo in the map. The computer display that they attempt to control simply does not exist. The following 18 buttons have identical effect. First of all, they make sounds. Secondly, when you click them, there is a 50% chance that the monitor displays will show the text incorrect. After which, there are 7 possible outcomes that may happen. In 6 of the 7 cases, the monitor will display images of buttons of different colors. In the 7th case, the monitor flashes quickly between 6 different images. Just to be clear, the image that is shown on the monitor has no connection whatsoever to anything. It is utterly useless for the purpose of helping to solve the puzzle. The image is a decoration, nothing more. Isn't it you have... Oops, I almost forgot. Here are 6 more buttons that do not do anything. 4 there, 2 here. No, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button. The big red button. Its function is to display a password error message for 15 seconds. It counts the attempts. After the 3rd try, the input is locked and no longer usable. You may have already guessed correctly. There is no way to make it ever accept the password. Let's see, is there anything else? What is up there anyway? Stanley cannot jump, and Stanley cannot climb either. But I am not Stanley, and I am curious. Let's see. What do we have here? What do we have here? There's a door, which doesn't open. There is another door, a more interesting door by the looks of it. It opens not either. More doors that do not open. Oh, something shimmers in the distance. But I'm sure whatever I come up with over here. Yep, another decoy door. Let's see. A secret computer display, which is a decoy. Obviously, because Stanley could never reach it, so there's no reason to put an input functionality to it. How about the escape door? Well, the narrator locks the door, so you cannot exit. But hypothetically speaking, what would happen if the door suddenly vanished? We could just walk through. Yes, we are free. There's nothing here. There's not even a door material portal this time. You really cannot escape this room once you click the on button. This is my final conclusion. Feel free to prove me wrong. I hope you found this video interesting.
Oh, you can't. Well, honestly, I think I'm gonna stop. I am ready to get off, so I'll do this some other time. I just got a little bored, so anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, but I'll see you guys next time.